Welcome everybody to a look at the first ever release from Transmission, which is a label that is a spin-off from Radiance. And yeah, it is 1980's Night of the Juggler. And this is directed by Robert Butler, who also did Turbulence, but anything else he's done doesn't look particularly interesting. However, this was originally supposed to be directed by Sidney J. Fury, who also did the likes of the Ipcris File and The Entity, as filming started in New York City in July 1978. However, lead actor James Brolin broke his foot during filming, which delayed production. Fury then quit the film in August after one third of the film was complete. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to know which third of the film he did, but regardless, this is a neo-noir thriller film. Clocks in at 101 minutes long. Stars James Brolin, of course, who was also in other 70s classics like Westworld, Capricorn 1, and Skyjacked, although I would say the Amityville Horror, which he was also in, is a little bit underwhelming. Also stars Cliff Gorman, who was in All That Jazz and Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai. Richard S. Castellano, whose only other notable effort seemingly is The Godfather, and finally Linda Miller, who is in Alice, Sweet Alice. So, yeah, several 70s classics from the cast there. So, a tough New York City ex-cop relentlessly searches for his kidnapped teenage daughter, who is held by a twisted psycho after mistaking her for the daughter of a wealthy businessman. So, to say I have been highly anticipating this would be an understatement. And although I feel like this, I have seen this before, unfortunately, I can't quite remember. It could easily be just because of the one of the action scenes in this I've seen on likes of YouTube before, and that's how I'm misremembering it. But I am going to say I've seen this before, especially since this 4K release is undoubtedly like seeing it for the first time, given that it has languished in poor quality for decades and now it looks absolutely sensational. So, yeah, there is a version of this on YouTube at the moment. That's about 2 years. It was uploaded about 2 years ago, and that is apparently the best quality that we'd had before this release. And even that doesn't look particularly great at all. I don't even think it's in 720p or anything like that. So, yeah, we definitely do now have the ultimate version of this film. And the film itself is also superb, thanks to the great cast, with New York City feeling like a character of its own, while using the setting in an effective manner. The characterization is solid, the score is well done, the cinematography is excellent, the pacing is on point, and there is palpable tension. It also has well realized themes. The different locales within New York City are nicely varied as we go from the likes of serene parks to desolate looking wasteland, and it is also well edited, especially since the plot is kind of two separate sides going in tandem. You got the police trying to deal with this at the same time as our ex-cop himself, as they are trying to find out who this kidnapper is, why he was targeting this wealthy businessman in the first place and such. But then you've also got our ex-cop trying to look for his daughter, and he's going through all sorts of different levels of New York just to try and find his daughter. But to top off all of those positives is the action. Not only is there a superb chase scene that pretty much caps off the first act, which goes from foot to subway, back to foot again, and then also back to car, but there are also a few solid hand to hand fight scenes, plenty of property damage, which I'm always a fan of in films. We got, for instance, a cop that is has been missed. Has been done by wrongly as far as he's concerned by our lead, goes on the warpath to try and take him back into custody, um, and just goes around across New York with a shotgun, blasting everything in sight from car windows to shop fronts and such. And there's three brutal looking car crashes in that in that chase scene that, like I said, caps off the first act. So yeah, overall, really, really good. 4.5 out of 5. Could say that the ending could be a little bit more satisfying in terms of the action and such, but on the whole, very much an impressive effort, and really have to doff my cap to Transmission for knocking it out of the park right from the off. And yeah, and that includes the physical quality of this. The physical quality alone with this is well worth the money. It was about 29.99. I think I got about 10% off it for being a membership from Radiant. So not costing all that much more than a standard 4K that costs about £20. And yet, like I said, the physical quality is excellent. Not only do we get a hard box, which is of the same kind of quality that Radiance would release, but we've also got this little cut in here, which as you might have saw at the beginning, means that you can see that it is a transmission release when it's inside the box, because as you can see here, it slides in and it says transmission there, which I really, really like. It means that you can have this stood up and still know who it's from. You don't have to have it on the side, which is really nice little extra there. We also get physical extras as well, which is kind of annoying in some regards because obviously I've been going through my awards lately, and I've been nominating films for best physical quality, best extras, and such. And yet, this, if it had come out earlier in the year, would comfortably be nominated. As for starters, we have coloured art card or shots from the film, should I say, with Night of the Juggler on the bottom. There is nothing on the reverse of these, by the way. So yeah, just a few shots from the film. And yeah, this feels like one of those films that is at a point of New York City that obviously is now comfortably lost. Um, Obviously, I am talking from a film perspective because I haven't visited New York myself, but yeah, this does feel like a film that is within the same kind of realm as like The Warriors, the and other New York films like I think French Connection was that set in New York as well. It feels like those kind of films. Obviously, this did start filming in the late 70s. It's not an 80s film in any kind of way, really, to be honest, outside of its release date. So yeah, it does feel like a very much a 70s kind of film. We also get a poster with this, which is on lovely thick paper, which I'm always a fan of because it means I can put it up, get it down without risking ripping it. And it is a landscape one. How often do we see a landscape poster in these kind of boutique labels? Not often at all. It's usually a portrait. So, yeah, that alone is worth it. But the fact that it's on nice thick paper is in essence the original poster. But from what I believe, nothing on the reverse. But it doesn't need it, to be honest. It's just a really, really nice, well thought out poster. Then we also get a booklet. Not the thickest booklet you've ever seen in your life, but it is still what 35-ish pages, so it's pretty good in that regard. And then we get another kind of picture or poster from the film, transmission on the back. And then inside we get cast and crew, Psychotic Reactions NYC Style by Glenn Kenny, Another Goddamn New York Day, Night of the Juggler's Street Map of the Vigilante Genre by Barry Forshaw. By the way, this does take place over a single day, which again is really, really great, especially when you're dealing with a city like New York, which is obviously constantly moving. And to set a film over one day means you have to get the lighting correct for each individual shot because obviously the film isn't shot over a single day, so the lighting has to be extremely consistent throughout the entire film, and it's bang on. It doesn't look like it's been shot over several days or several weeks or even a couple of years. It just looks like it's just been done in one full swoop, and it's mightily impressive. Then we've also got Turning Up the Heat with William P. McGivern from Travis Woods, and then we've got acknowledgements and credits. So yeah, we also have shots from the film throughout as well. That bottom half there is one of the kind of chase scene parts. So our bad guy starts off in a brown Ford Gran Torino, and our lead hitches a ride in a cab, which is actually driven by Mandy Pitkinen. I can't remember his precise pronunciation of his name, but he was in the likes of Homeland, a TV series. So yeah, really interesting to see him in a small role in a film like this. Um, then we have transfer notes. So yeah, the film was restored in 4K resolution by Trimuse Entertainment. The original 35mm camera negative was scanned by Film Scan in Munich using the MWA Flash Transfer Vario 5K scanner and restored using HSR Diamond film restoration software. Additional color grading was performed using DaVinci Resolve 20 and audio restoration using RX11. The film is presented in both Dolby Vision HDR Ultra HD and SDR Blu-ray, and with the option of the original uncompressed 1.0 mono audio track or the 5.1 DTS HD master audio track. The 5.1 audio track was supplied by Kino Lorber. So yeah, no idea if Kino Lorber have released this before or not, or they had the audio or not, but Definitely not had this in the UK on any format outside of perhaps VHS, and yeah, it's just absolutely superb to actually have this. And on top of all of those physical extras, we have a slip cover with new artwork on it, from what I believe it is new artwork, maybe. Um, and then we have proper old style kind of, reverse for a physical release with a couple of shots from the film, cast and such, and then a plot synopsis. That feels a lot more old school than some slipcovers that we get these days. And then we get the film case itself, which again has more artwork on it, several different artworks to choose from. And then we've got the reverse as well. And then we have the 4K and the Blu-ray with the special features on that inside. What I really like is the fact that they've done what Radiance did with one of their Ultra HD releases earlier this year, is keep it in a simple, clear plastic case. No 4K Ultra HD or whatever on the top or anything like that. Keep it simple. And yeah, I really like that. And in terms of extras, we've got a new audio commentary with film historians Kim Newman and Sean Hogan, plus a new interview with actor James Brolin, new interview with actress Julie Carmen, the Meanest Streets, a Night Juggler locations tour with filmmaker Michael Gingold and production associate Chris Coles. Fun City Limits, Fear and Loathing in Hollywood's New York City, a new visual essay by Howard S. Berger. Pandemonium Reflex, an inquest into Sidney J. Fury's Night of the Juggler. Visual essay on Fury by Daniel Kramer, author of Sidney J. Fury Life and Films. Trailer, stills and poster gallery as well. So yeah, absolutely superb. The film itself is a 4.5 out of 5, but this release is quite frankly a 10 out of 10, to be honest. Can't fault it at all for the physical extras, the physical quality, the 4K restoration, which looks absolutely superb, like I said. Sound quality is also great as well, especially when it comes to the whole ambient noise of New York City, because obviously that could very easily overwhelm a film, because New York is hardly a quiet city by any means. But you've got the score involved in that as well, and then just this general sound is just great. So yeah, absolutely superb. I really am looking forward to seeing what we get from Transmission next. I know obviously there are 2 more announcements already out there. They're doing the Stuntman, which is another film that I know I've seen before, but not in any good quality, and special effects from Larry Cohen. Both of those will also be in 4K. I have seen both of them before. Special effects was fairly decent as far as Larry Cohen films go. Not sure if I will buy it because I wasn't massively impressed by it, but who knows, maybe a second rewatch will I'll get something more from it. But the fact that we're getting another Larry Cohen film on physical release at all is also a good thing, because we don't get much from him as a director on physical stuff. We've obviously had 2 this year though, which is only a good thing. We had The Ambulance from Eureka and the stuff on 4K from Arrow Video, but the more we get from him, the better. Quite frankly, I'd love an It's Alive trilogy box set, but that's just me. But still, this film alone is absolutely excellent, and yeah, for a first release from Transmission, who are obviously a new boutique label, I know they have Radiance films behind them, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee anything. And yeah, just to knock it out of the park from the off is only a great thing. And yeah, here's hoping that 2026 will have several more of their films to enjoy. So yeah, nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you have seen Night of the Juggler before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.